Everyone. I've been talking to Joelle. She was having a technical issue, so I have started the meeting on her behalf. She should be joining us shortly.
Does she know? I just spoke with.
Yes, she does.
Okay,
She and I were just on the phone.
great.
So,
Great, wonderful.
so I'm just going through the waiting room, letting people in. All right. Station. All right. Hi, everyone. So for those of you who just joined in here, Joellen and I were just on the phone. She was having a technical issue, which is our issue on the city with the Zoom link. So I started the meeting on her behalf because I'm on the city's network. And she's actually joining us right now. I'm going to make her the host of this committee meeting as soon as she is there.
And Nicholas, this is Ellen. I need to share a screen at some point, so I'll need to be made co-host.
Okay, so I am just, hold on. I'm trying to not mess this up. All right. All right, Joellen, you should be our host now.
Great.
Tell me if you got something on your end. Ellen, I think, well, you know, now that I made Joellen the host, I think she has to make you a co-host.
All right, so hold on.
So Joellen, if you click on those three little buttons, what I had was three little buttons on the side of Ellen's name.
Okay.
And if you click those, one of the options should be to make her a co-host.
Okay, great.
Now, I am trying to figure out where this is going to record and end up.
Well, at the end, it shows a message that says that it can save the video either on it says computer or cloud. So should I hit cloud?
Okay. I mean, just
because it's your computer, but apparently it saves it on mine if I hit computer. So
just save it where you can and send it to me tonight. We'll get it posted first thing in the morning.
okie doke.
Okay.
Great. All right. Thank you. Sorry,
just save
folks.
it. Yeah. Just save it. Send it to me and Rick tonight, and we'll make sure it's online.
All righty. Let me get organized here. This is a little disconcerting.
And Joellen, I'll talk to Rick in the morning. We'll make sure we get that code issue sorted out. Sorry about that, but thanks
That's all right.
Thanks for hanging with me on the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for helping.
Okay, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thanks.
I have to go warm up dinner for two hungry boys.
All right.
Take care.
Sorry, folks. I need to get organized here. Yeah. So this is the beginning of the Diversity and Equity Committee meeting, and we are starting at 6:42. So we learned a lot from last Tuesday's council meeting, and I learned that I'm not a very good chairperson. So I studied up before tonight's meeting to make sure of the rules. I've been following.
May I break in for a moment?
Yeah.
I believe that we are missing a couple of people. Let me admit other people who are in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
But we are missing some members. And
perhaps they did
there
not
are only
realize that.
3 members here, and
How many?
There are only 3 members here right now.
So Ellen, could you call the other members and let them know that the meeting's open, that they can get into the meeting now? Perhaps they thought we weren't having one.
Yeah, let me also send an email in your email thread telling people you were having trouble so that they can get that.
Thank you. Thank you. So in the beginning, 2.5 years ago, I was told to follow the open meeting laws, the Vermont open meeting laws, which I was doing. But what I didn't know, when recently found out that the city council approved additional rules in June of 2021, which the mayor kindly forwarded to me. As a result, there'll be some changes in the agenda. So the meeting's open, and so some things to keep in mind about this and future meetings, and how they're going to be run. This is according to the city's rules of procedure for public bodies of the city of Barre. So on the agenda, I forgot to put open the meeting and adjustments to the agenda. And then the vote on the second year, this is by way of adjustments to the agenda now. Then there's a message from the chair, which is myself. Then we're going to vote for the second year report. There's a vote on the name change. There's a vote on the letter of support for the city grant to the Vermont Community Fund. And then we're going to set our regular meeting time because we haven't been able to do that yet. Then number 6 is going to be visitors and public comment. And according to our rules, I'm going to make it 1 minute for each person. And then we adjourn. Okay. So
We
let me get
still don't have a quorum, do we? Is this a quorum?
4.
Yep. We are 3 unless I'm miscounting.
Have you called people?
I don't have people's phone numbers, but I have emailed people.
Okay, and so we need at least one more person, correct?
Yeah, and I don't see anyone in the waiting room at the moment. I'm keeping an eye.
All right, I'm going to call Emily. Excuse me, folks, but this is important. This is like a reality TV show. And the phone is ringing. These remind me of my days in radio when you had to. Hello, Emily? Emily, you can get into the meeting and we need a quorum. Can you do that right now? Trouble with the link. Go to the city site. And have you hit on that? Well, all right. Keep trying. I'm going to call Chris, okay? Bye. Okay, folks, now we're going to call Chris and see if he is going to be able to get through. Apparently, Emily is having technical difficulties as well. Oops. See, I do have tech skills. I can use a telephone.
I've just emailed out the link to everybody else.
Okay.
In case that helps.
Thanks for your patience, folks. Well, I got a message machine. So, all right. And is Greg with us? Emily's here, yes. Emily, are you there?
Is that Emily?
Yes,
Wheeler?
it is. Yay. Okay, so Emily's here.
Is that Emily
have
Wheeler?
4, correct?
Even though it says Emily Reynolds, is that Emily Wheeler?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so some things to keep in mind about how, okay, I said that already. So I'm going to read to you from, if I can find it. Here it is. So, this is from the City of Barre, Rules of Procedure, Public Bodies of the City of Barre. So here are the things that I think will be salient for us tonight. So it talks of public comments. So the members of the public shall be afforded reasonable opportunity to express opinions about matters considered by the council. And when it says council, that means committee for us. So in other words, that you're allowed to talk about things on the agenda, and it says that visitors and communications section of each meeting, time afforded for open public comment. It does not, however, say when, so we're going to hold that at the end of the meeting. It does say that it shall not exceed 2 minutes, and the order of which shall be controlled by the chair. And so I'm limiting that to a minute. No,
I think we
member of the
probably
pub-
should vote on that.
This is the city's rules, my dear.
Uh,
These are the
the,
city's rules. It was
the amount of time that you're
ratified in the
giving.
6/15/2021. And actually, this is very important to you because this is what you're doing. No member of the public may speak during the meeting unless called upon or recognized by the chair. So please, if you need to be recognized, raise your hand. There's that little yellow golden raise your hand thing. And that includes our committee members. You need to be actually asking me to speak, and then I will allow you to speak because I'll do that. I really will. So the other thing is, I have to tell you that I am going to make mistakes, and I'll probably make a lot of them, especially tonight. So keep your pencils ready and write down any complaint you may have. And then, of course, let me know. My telephone number and my email address is on the city website. Chris, try getting in now, okay? Oh, well, try to get in. Go through the city site, okay? Bye-bye. All right, Chris is going to join us too. Great. So what's next? I think that's pretty much where we're at, except for the preserve order part. So the chair shall preserve order in the minutes of the meeting, and regulate its proceeding by applying these rules and enforce the rules as required by 1 VSA 312H. Yeah, okay, so I have some comments here that I think might help us. Well, here are a few things that we now know thanks to the comments at the council meeting on Tuesday night. Things that'll help us communicate and move forward even though we have not had any reconciliation within the committee. We know that the council refuses to help us or put any resources at our disposal to reconcile the obvious rift in our community. We know there is an avowed anti-abortion activist who espouses white male supremacist ideology on the committee. In addition, that person is a self-described vocal provocateur who used him attacking the school board as evidence. We found out that a council member chose to inflame the situation by sharing a private email to the press instead of contacting the chair or other members. We also know that there are people who have absolutely no knowledge of what diversity means in the context of equity work, and neither does the council. However, the good news is that the council has faith that we'll be able to manage this. So let's see if we can. I'm ready to go to voting on the second year report of the committee. So we have had this report in front of us for, 3 months now? And unfortunately, we had difficulty getting a meeting time in order to move this out of our committee and onto the desk of the city council. It's titled A More Just and Inclusive Community, Barre City Diversity and Equity Committee Report. This is a report of the last 2 years of our meeting. So, do I have a motion?
I have a point of order.
Yes, William?
Since we do have members of the public here, they should be allowed to speak to the motion.
I'm not understanding what you mean. People have an opportunity to speak at the end of the meeting. They'll get a minute each. Let me finish,
Yes,
please. Let me finish, please. They'll have an opportunity for a minute to speak at the end, And unless a motion is made and seconded, there can be no discussion by anybody. So that's where we're going. Okay? Does that suit you? Is that a yes, William? You're icing me? Okay. So someone want to make that motion,
that's fine.
please?
I move,
Ellen?
so moved.
So moved. So this is a motion to, this is Emily. Emily, thank you, by the way, Emily, for taking minutes. Emily has agreed to be our secretary. So
A
Emily,
second.
the motion is to move the committee report out of committee and to the council. Do I
Thank
get a
you.
second? What's that?
I second.
Thank you, Emily. Any discussion? Seeing none, I will,
I would actually. We're looking at which report are we looking at here
a
specifically?
more just and inclusive community.
Okay,
Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. What, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
Fucking say it. Jesus Christ.
Are you reading the report now?
I'm glancing over it again.
William, you have had 3 months to read it. I'm calling the question. Can we please vote? All those in favor say aye.
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 Where's Chris?
He's not here. Oh, hold on, he's coming right now. I just admitted him and he ought to be, there he is. Okay.
So Chris, can you hear me?
Can Chris unmute?
Chris, can you unmute, please?
Uh-oh. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Chris, can you unmute?
Yeah, I'm
Can you hear us?
sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute. Okay. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. So let me tell you what's happening. I'll catch you up. So we have a motion on the table to accept the committee report and send it to city council. So if you could please vote whether you wanted to do that or not. It's been seconded by Emily and it was introduced by Ellen.
I vote yes.
William, how do you vote?
I will abstain.
So that means the motion carries. And we'll move on to the next item. Okay, so the next item is the vote on the name change. And this name change is to align with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. We want to change it from diversity and equity to justice, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Ellen, do you want, so can we get a motion on that and then we can discuss it? So moved. Okay, so and seconded?
I second.
Okay, Chris seconds. So this is a vote to vote to change the name from the Diversity and Equity Committee to the Justice, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee. Is there any discussion?
Would you like to have?
I'm sorry, Josh. Excuse me.
Would you like to have the definitions on the screen or not?
Yeah, if you could put the definitions on the screen, that might help everybody. And I'll get you, Mr. Howard, in a minute. So in order to help us with this, we'll put it on there. And actually, Mr. Howard, I can't actually call on you unless until we're in the discussion phase. So hold on one second.
Point of order.
Yes, William.
That is actually not correct. Because we are voting on something here, the public has a chance to provide comment
Yes,
before we
I'm gonna,
vote on
William,
it.
don't worry about it, honey. I'm gonna call him in a minute. I'm gonna call him in a minute. I just want to get the thing on the screen so everybody knows what the definitions are of these words and we can talk about them openly and with some. Yeah.
That was not what you had indicated, so I will
I'm
yield.
sorry, maybe I wasn't clear. I told you I was gonna make mistakes.
And
You didn't believe
I am
me?
having trouble sharing that document on the screen. I wonder if Emily could help me with that.
Well, in the meanwhile, I'll talk, excuse me, we'll see what
Yeah.
Mr. Howard has to say. You have to unmute. Thank
I
you.
think-
Yes, so, I'll make sure my mic is on there. Was talking about name change that include inclusivity and diversity and all that kind of stuff. And I find it kind of hypocritical, given a speech at the beginning of this meeting, when you're openly attacking somebody else for their.
Excuse me, but that's inappropriate. If you want to speak to the issue, you have to speak to either these actual words and how, I don't know, but that's not appropriate. Any other discussion?
Uh,
William, would you like to speak?
Yes, I believe he was actually speaking to the appropriate word.
You know, I really don't want to get into a back and forth about this. And so I'm just going to ask that we speak to the motion, which is to change the name. And if you want to, yeah, that's where we're at. All right.
That's exactly what I was talking about, was the name change. And I said, I find it, not you, I was accusing, I said, I find it hypocritical based on your speech at the beginning of the meeting where you openly excluded somebody because how they feel about a ballot item. That's what I was talking about.
Well, I guess I don't understand, but thank you for speaking.
Not surprised.
Anybody else?
I would actually believe that our name should reflect what we are all about. And clearly from the beginning of the meeting and from the comments that the chair made at the beginning of the meeting, we are not about justice.
Well,
We
yeah.
are not about equity, and we are not about diversity. So I would oppose, I know that during the last meeting, I said I had no problem with the change, but that was before.
you know, I really don't need to hash this out with you here, William. I mean, I understand you don't have to vote for it. That's fine with me. But to begin arguing with me about things is, again, inappropriate. So does anyone else have anything to say about this? And then I'll call the question.
I support the change to this name. This reflects the aspiration of our work. The definitions align with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. And it is very clear that this is our charge, which means what we are working toward. So I think it's very important to align with VLCT and where they're going and where they are helping municipalities get to. So I support this change.
Thank you for speaking. Anyone else? Now, I've been accused of not having very good tech skills, so I have a question for all of you because I need some help here. When I look at my screen up in the upper left-hand side, if someone is raising their hand to speak, it shows up there. Is that correct? Okay, moving on. So I'm going to take a vote. All those in favor of changing the name signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Aye.
William,
No,
okay. Emily, did you get all that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, the motion passes. So let's move on to number 4. Excuse me, 4. So this is a vote on the letter of support for the city's grant. The grant is to the Vermont Community Fund, and it's sponsored by the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. So Nicholas has, the city manager has asked me to bring a letter of support. And so I think I believe I sent it to all the board members, but Ellen, can you put that on the screen? Is that possible? No, you're not able
No,
to do it.
it's not allowing me to find those things.
Ah, okay,
Sorry, thank you. I will, two people entered. Sorry, I see that there are two people in the waiting room, but for some reason it doesn't say admit right now. Oh, here we go. I can do it.
okay, thank you.
And
Um,
Greg has arrived, another member.
Hello, Greg. Thank you for joining us. Sorry
Not-
that there
Not
was.
quite here yet. Not yet. Now he's here.
Hello, Greg. Thank you for showing up. Greg is another committee member. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties, Greg. We've had quite a time of it so far. So let me just describe the grant for those of us who don't know about it, and maybe it'll help if I just read the letter. This is to the Vermont Community Foundation. We are excited to support the City of Barry's grant application to the Foundation's Equitable and Inclusive Communities Grant, sponsored by the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. The project, Let's Talk About Justice, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, has our full approval, and we have been an active participant in its formation. Our committee's recommendations to the City Council includes professional assistance, educating city and community leaders about the work of removing barriers to equity. The proposed program is directed at the leadership of our city's governing structure, council members, municipal managers, school board members, other committee members, and nonprofit directors serving the city. The city's Diversity and Equity Committee's experience over the past 2 years of development has demonstrated the need for increasing awareness and understanding about diversity and equity. The committee's education group had proposed several community-wide education projects that have had difficulty progressing to actualization due to funding issues and lack of capacity for the city to manage them. Until and unless there is a serious investment in the work of the committee, there can be little progress toward a more inclusive environment. Leaders need to understand and recognize the value of putting resources toward this effort. This project will go a long way to helping participants become active agents for the change that is coming and, in actuality, is already here. A more diverse population with different demographics. It will assist city managers in connecting the values of equity into their staff management strategies, and nonprofits and community activists in learning how to examine their projects with an equity lens. City council members will gain more knowledge about the economic and social impacts of inequality. Let's Talk About Justice, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging is designed as a circle conversation with gifted facilitator Christy Clemens. She is the Title IX director at Dartmouth College and the author of From Safe Space to Brave Space. With no more than 15% participants in each session, the series of conversations are less formal and more intimate way of studying the topic with appropriate reading and analysis. That's basically that is our letter of, and I got no edits from anyone, so I'm assuming that everyone is okay with the language. Big assumption, we'll see. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to send this letter to the city manager.
So moved.
Thank you, William. Any second?
I second.
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion? Okay, great. Seeing no discussion, I'm gonna call the question. So all those in favor of sending this letter of support to the manager, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. That motion passes. I will send off the letter tomorrow.
Did William vote?
He did, and he said yes.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
so. Is that right, William? Okay, have you got that, Emily, everyone?
Yes.
That was actually unanimous. Thanks, everybody. It's a good feeling. Okay, so we get to, okay. So we have had such a time trying to find out when we're going to have our regular meeting. So here's my proposal. So we had talked about changing our way of doing the groups. What are they calling that? Anyway, so we were going to have 3 new ways of operating, and those 3 subcommittees, the action groups, will be doing all of the work. And so I'm thinking we could actually go to a meeting like this, a regular meeting every 2 months instead of every month. And from what I understand from our survey, everyone is available on Monday at 6:30, and my best day is this time is the second Monday of the month. So I'm thinking second Monday of the month at 6:30 every 2 months. How is that for folks? Is there
That
anyone
works for me.
Yeah, that works for you? Is there anyone it doesn't work for?
Works for me.
Okay, great, Greg, thank you.
I
Anybody?
don't
Joella,
have my,
I'm sorry, I think we need to motion and second and vote on that.
Okay,
I don't have my calendar. Are any of those Mondays a holiday?
November 10th, no. The 1st is October 10th. There's no holiday that day.
No.
Usually it's,
Well,
It'll miss Christmas, it'll miss Thanksgiving.
We've been doing the 3rd Monday, which has been a holiday usually,
That's correct.
but the 2nd Monday is not. I think the next one it might be a holiday for would be July 4th, but that's,
well, let's,
July 4th was a Monday this year, so we should be good.
Okay,
Okay.
everybody. Okay, so that seems okay for everyone. Does someone want to make a motion then that we meet on? Thank you,
So
William.
I would make the motion to meet on the 2nd Monday of the month.
At
Are we doing
6:30.
it every month or every other month?
Every other month,
Every other month, starting in
October
October or
10th.
starting in November?
starting in October 10th.
Okay.
So Emily, can you cobble that together?
I got
I,
it.
s- I
Okay.
second the motion.
All right, any discussion? Okay, seeing none. Okay, so let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Perfect, unanimous. That's great. Thanks so much. All right, so now we are up to visitors and public comments. Have at it, folks. Sarah, go for it. You're gonna have to. unmute, Sarah.
You were
There
just
go.
talking about, you were just,
Whoops. Sarah, can you unmute? I think we got it now. Go.
you remuted me.
No, I
So,
didn't. You're okay.
so you were talking about holidays on a Monday. The 2nd Monday in October is a holiday. It's Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day.
Oy, thanks a lot, Sarah. Oh gosh. Okay, so I have a new proposal, folks.
It's not a state holiday.
No, it isn't, but it might not be politic to have it on that day. So, yes, Ellen.
well, we have frequently met on those holidays, and we, I believe, have said that that was not a bad thing, as our mission is about justice. And so, and it is not, that isn't a federal holiday, and it isn't a day off for most people.
It's also not a religious holiday, so.
Yeah, so I actually, I don't have a problem with doing this kind of work on that day, just for
Well,
myself.
you know what? Maybe on the 10th, I can get someone to come to our meeting. We've had visitors and guests before. Maybe we can choose an appropriate guest to educate us about Indigenous Peoples Day. Okay, Terry, you can unmute.
Good evening, thank you. Just for clarification, at the beginning, Joellen, you had mentioned reading the city's additional rules, and you said for public participation, when you were reading 2 minutes, and then you said 1 minute. So is the city rule 2 minutes or is it 1 minute? Just as a point.
The rule says up to 2 minutes. That's what the rule said when I read it. and it's up to the chair to determine how long. So each person will get a minute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wish to speak? Well, I don't see anyone else raising their hands. So shall I ask for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I second.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. This was a fabulous meeting. I expected something completely different. Okay, so we'll see you on the 10th, everyone. Thanks a lot.
I.
What?
I,
Oh, no.
no, I'm just
Oh, no,
saying
another
aye
Robert's
to the
rule.
motion to adjourn.
Oh, aye.
No, you don't. When you
Aye.
move to adjourn, you just need a second. You don't vote on that motion. That's
Oh,
how it
God.
works.
Well, if we want to vote, fine. If we don't, I mean, that's not the worst mistake I've ever made, apparently. See everybody later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Aye.